Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Good morning, everyone. It's good to meet you all online again. Today, we wanted to move to the second part. The second part subject is clarity. Clarity. When we talk about clarity, basically I feel this part of the teaching is related with right understanding and right thinking. That means we wanted to be cleared on thinking in order to clearly understand the facts, the truth, not based on emotional feelings and wrong understandings, wrong views. In the past many years, I always mention this to friends and members of the temple. I said, if you study Buddhism, Buddhism is not a religion. Ask you to believe on the teaching. Actually, basically, Buddhism asks you to understand the teaching. After you understand the teaching clearly, then you can believe in it. So belief is a follow right understanding. That is the correct way to develop. If we put belief in front, a lot of times we are going to ignore clarity. We are going to ignore right understanding, because after we believe in something, emotionally we are going to attached with this kind of belief. So that's why, in my observation, I feel there are so many religions on earth. Perhaps only Buddhism emphasizes on clarity, emphasizes on right understanding, right thinking. Perhaps we can make a study on this. Yeah. In my personal understanding, I feel because Buddha taught us how to develop our right understanding, clear our thinking process, thinking attitude. So that makes me feel that it's wonderful to be a Buddhist. When I was young, some adults, they taught us, you need to believe in this, you need to believe in that, or you need to do this without asking any question. Just do it. For example, burning paper money. When I was young, is a custom in China. Okay, and a lot of families during Qingming festival, people are burning paper money for ancestors. And I had doubts why we are burning so many paper money. What is the purpose for that? After I study Buddhism, slowly I discover this is a Chinese tradition. It's not a Buddhist tradition. Buddha never taught us to burn paper money. The same thing on other practice. Buddha never asked any disciples, fast yourself, don't eat normally, and reduce your food. And through hunger, if you make yourself very hungry, you are having pain, very uncomfortable feeling, then you are going to be able to eradicate your negative karmas by doing this. Buddha did not agree on this kind of a practice. Yeah, and some people, they will say, if you live like an animal, soaking in the water, you are going to reduce sufferings by doing this. Buddha did not agree on this. But somehow, in the world, some people, they do have the kind of attitude, liking to believe in something. They feel they can gain results right away. But actually, we all understand that if you wanted to be successful, you have to work on it. You cannot just play something to gain this kind of a goal right away. So I accept the law of cause and effect, and I feel this is a wonderful teaching. Every time in our daily life, when we face, happy experiences, I wanted to understand what caused that. Let's maintain those, conditions. Yeah. If I've experienced negative, experience, then I wanted to study what caused that. Perhaps let's find a way to eradicate those causes. This is my attitude in daily life, and this is the Buddha's teaching. Okay. But today, before we go further, I wanted to read some of the contents from this book to you, and I would like to invite you to think. Okay, how much you can understand those meaning. Okay. This is from Prajna Paramita Sutra. Subhuti asked the Buddha. Subhuti was a very wise disciple of Buddha. She understood the teaching of Sunyata. Sunyata sometimes we translate into emptiness. Okay, the nature of emptiness. Subhuti asked the Buddha, the highest, most awakened mind that you attained, is that mind the unattainable? Yes, Subhuti, with regard to that highest and most awakened mind, I have not attained anything. The mind is everywhere equally. It cannot be attained or grasped, but it can be realized. It is realized through the practice of all good actions, when they are done in the spirit of no self and no object of self. Let's continue to read another part, okay, from this book. This is from Visuddhi Manga, the Sutra of Visuddhi Manga. A name is imposed on what is thought to be a thing or a state, and this divides it from other things and other states. But when you pursue what lies behind the name, you find a greater and a greater subtlety that has no division. Atoms of dust are not really atoms of dust, but are merely called that. In the same way, a world is not a world, but is merely called that. After we read these two paragraphs, probably you are going to notice that Buddha asks us, when we see things around us, we don't want it to attach to names of those phenomena. At the same time, we wanted to understand all phenomena are conditional. Without proper conditions, phenomena will be changed. Yeah, it won't be looked in this way, look like this. So everything is conditional. I think this is the main teaching of the last paragraph. At the same time, without attachment, even you became a Buddha. Okay, you are a Buddha. You still don't want to attach to Nirvana. I'm a Buddha. Every time when you think that I'm a Buddha, that means you still attach to yourself. I'm a Buddha. Okay. So the highest attainment, enlightenment, even in that stage, you still don't attach to anything, even you reached the highest level. Okay. So this is a very important for us to know Buddhism. Okay. So today I wanted to start to invite you to think in this way. If someone asks you, what is the essence of Buddha's teaching? How are you going to answer this question? What is the core teaching of Buddha? What is the most important contents of the Dharma? How are you going to answer this? Basically, yeah, and in my understanding, yeah, we can answer questions in this way. The essence of Buddha's teaching is the concept, the understanding of interdependency. Or sometimes people will translate into different way, interdependent arising or interbeing. That means we wanted to understand the whole universe, the phenomena, and understand how they exist in this universe, including ourselves. And the Buddha said, all existence are based on interdependent arising in order to exist. Without interdependent arising, without interdependence, nothing can exist in this world by itself. So nothing exists in this world by itself. Everything is conditional. This is very important of Buddha's teaching. So every time in Buddhism, when we talk about human beings and talk about a person, then we wanted to observe ourselves in this way. What kind of conditions we have around us in order to let me sitting here. According to sutras, Buddha always asks us, observe those 5 skandhas. 5 skandhas form a person. I'm here because of those 5 conditions. Why we need to observe in this way? Because most human beings, or all human beings, we feel I am here because I am existing in this world by myself. I'm not depending on any other conditions. I can be here by myself alone. Actually, this understanding is not correct with the facts. Why we are here? Because of those 5 conditions. Without those 5 conditions, you cannot be yourself like this, in this kind of a form. So every one of us, we attach to this body. This is my body. At the same time, we feel we can separate from other people. Okay, I can do everything my way. I can survive by myself. Actually, it's not. The first skandha is a body. We all have to have a body. And without a body, how can we survive? Okay, I'm not here anymore. So if I need to have a body in order to survive, in order to exist, then I have to eat, I have to wear, I have to have a place to live. Then we depend on everything. Even this body depends on 5 elements. In Buddhism, it's simplified in a 4 categories. Okay, earth, and water, and fire or heat, the air, the wind. Okay. Today, my body depends on those 4 elements. Without those 4 elements, I cannot survive. So physically, it's conditional. Okay, and all those conditions can share with many people around us. Okay, we can share food with each other. We can share the air with each other. People always connect with each other. So this is interbeing, interdependency, interdependent arising, depend on different conditions in order to survive. I'm not making any cars, but from time to time, every week, I need to drive a car. I have to have a car. This car made by other people too. Okay. Besides this body skandha, physical skandha, then without the mental stage, without thinking, without understanding, without your consciousness, how are you going to be yourself? So after observing physical condition, then we started to observe the psychological conditions. We have perceptions or feelings, mental formations, consciousness. So every time when we wanted to understand how we exist, who we are, Buddha always asks disciples to observe your own existence in order to know there's no self exist in this world. Eradicate those attachments. Okay. Yes, this is not easy to understand because all of us, we get used to this is I. This table is mine. And when we think on anything, we always, relate I and others. Without I, we don't know how to survive. That is a difficulty to get rid of I, get rid of self. And then, because everything is conditional, so everything is changing, moving all the time. Nothing stays there permanently. So in Buddhism, we develop another important concept, impermanence. Okay? By understanding this teaching, nothing is permanent. It's very important. Yeah. If someone who can find anything that is permanent, he's better than Buddha. He can create another religion, another teaching for mankind. Something is permanent, I discovered, but somehow until today, even scientists, no one says something there is permanently existing in this universe. Everything is conditional. Everything is changing. Based on this understanding, then we slowly discover different conditions will create different consequences. Yeah. When condition is positive, it's going to produce a positive consequence. When conditions are negative, then it's going to produce negative consequence. So that's why in Buddhism, we ask everyone, let's be compassionate. Let's be kind to people around us, because we all connected with everyone. You can influence me, I can influence you. If you are ill, then perhaps, I have to be careful. So we better wish everyone is in good health. When we have a lot of people around us, they're all in good health, then we will be safe. Okay, just like pandemic. If any place, any country still having those illness, then we are not safe today. We cannot travel freely. So the whole world is connected with everyone. Yeah. In this understanding, so that's why we wanted to cultivate compassion and loving kindness, not just because based on any higher power taught us you have to be kind to others. No, we have this understanding. So this understanding will motivate us to be kind, to be compassionate, to do things for others that will accumulate good conditions in the future. This is Buddha's teaching. And finally, also I wanted to emphasize on another concept. When we teach Buddha Dharma, a lot of people will say Buddha's teaching is related with middle path, middle way. I think when we talk about middle path, middle way, it doesn't mean that we don't go to both sides or any sides. We select the center to be on the middle path. Actually, middle path, the correct definition is right understanding, right path. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you don't go this way, you don't go that way. So you go the middle way. Actually, we have to continue to study this concept. What is the middle way? What is the middle path? Yeah. Besides, last time we talked about the lifestyle. Perhaps that is related with a certain kind of a definition. But in the Dharma, when we talk about middle path, that means right path, not a wrong path, wrong view or wrong understanding. Yeah. And I still wanted to use the ancient concept of life. The way they understand about life, then to show what is the right understanding. Okay. When Buddha was in India, there were so many scholars, philosophers, and religious leaders. Part of them, they believe we human beings, we can maintain this human being's form forever. I'm a human being. I'm now a human being. After I die, I'm going to continue to reborn like a human being. Life will continue, maintaining a human being status forever without any change. This is one kind of a belief. Buddha said this is not right understanding about life. Then another group, some teachers, they believe in this way. Life is very limited, just for this life. If I can live for 80 years or 100 years, after I died, that is the end of life. There will be no more future life. There is another understanding. Buddha did not agree on this kind of teaching either. So Buddha said, life is not permanent like the first one. Also, life is not like the second thoughts. After we die, everything is finished. And in Buddhism, we don't agree on there's a permanent self. We don't say I can live permanently without any change. We don't agree on this, but we do agree that there's a changing I, changing self existing in everyday life. Even right now, I'm talking to you. I'm changing constantly. But with this condition, with this kind of understanding or consciousness, I'm still be called Venerable Hang Yi. But if you see my photos, I have some photos when I was about 7 years old. I have photos when I was about 20 years old. I have photos, in 30 or 40, 50. Until today, I'm still taking photos. If you carefully put those photos together, they all call Venerable Hang Yi. But which photo is the real Hang Yi? All in different kind of condition, existing in different kind of form, but still maintaining the identity of Venerable Hang Yi. Actually, I'm changing a little by little. Yeah. My hair is whiter than before. And today I have allergy, so my voice is not normal. So everything is changing constantly. Yeah. So we do have a changing I. There's no permanent, unchangeable I. Life after death is not the end of life. Life will be continued. That is the teaching of Buddha. We call this right understanding. Today, I think perhaps that's enough, for the talk. And I wish that every one of us let's continue to contemplate on those teachings, especially on the teaching of interdependent arising. Thank you. Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sangha. Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sangha. Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sangha.